Ideally, my morning routine actually starts the night before. Now, my daughters take care of the kitchen. They clean up from supper, which I really do appreciate because I'm not a night person. And so what I like to do before I go to bed is check in with the washing machine as people have things that they need me to wash. And for the rest of the house, it's pretty much towels. And then my husband and I might have clothes in there because each of my daughters do have their own laundry day. But I check in with the washing machine, see if I need to run a load, and if I do, I go ahead and get it started before I go to bed. Then when I wake up, it's all washed and ready to go into the dryer. I am an early bird, and over the last year, I've pretty much gotten up at 5 a.m. every morning. And you can see Leo is only too happy to join me. I always head right to my desk to have my prayer and Bible time. I do use the bathroom, of course. I get a drink, and I head right to the desk. And Leo, he and Woozy both sleep in the basement, so he is always craving, look at him, some attention. And so he often joins me, and if I can get him at least in my lap instead of on my desk, that does make things a little bit easier. I always start with a prayer journal, and I like to decorate my prayer journal with washi tape and stickers, and I do get a lot of questions, and I've gotten requests to share more of my prayer journal, so I decided I would do it in this video since we're talking about my morning routine, and this really is the most important part of my morning routine. This is really how I wake up every morning. I'm putting down some green washi tape that I got from Hobby Lobby, and over the top I'm putting a thinner washi tape that actually has cats on it and was a gift from one of you. Judine, that you might see in the comments section, sent me a bunch of her washi tapes, and I have been having a blast with them. So Judine, thanks again. I am just loving these washi tapes. I love to do my prayer journaling right in a journal. I have found that it doesn't work for me to have a pre-printed prayer journal. They have certain categories in those that you would write in every day, and they have certain sizes that they give you to write. I might want to write more. I might want to write less. I might not want to put that category in that day. It just, for me, I have to be real, and it has to be messy, and it has to be imperfect, and it's really easier for me to do that in a journal. So every day I do write what day of the week it is, as well as the date. And I do like to sometimes look back and look at what I have written in the past, and you can see prayers that were answered. You can see where my heart was at that time, and I do really enjoy that very much. I don't have these pre-planned out layouts that I want to do. I just kind of do whatever I'm in the mood for. I have several sticker books, and most of them are from Happy Planner. Some of them are recollection sticker books. I really love those as well. But I just kind of follow my heart in a way. I'm just putting down stickers. I do love these ones that I can write in. I do always start with Thanksgiving. I do try to think of things that I'm thankful for from the night before or the day before. And when I don't necessarily have anything on my mind, I always can thank God for different qualities that He has and ways that He has loved me and taken care of me. And if I am really dry and cannot think of anything, that I would go to the Psalms and read through the Psalms until I found things that I agree with that I can thank God for. One thing I really like about these sticker boxes is they're not very big, and I can kind of be super random because everything is in its own box. Another thing I might do is switch out colors, so I could write in orange, and then I could write a completely different prayer beside it in green, and the color kind of differentiates one from another. Here I'm writing the names of my children as well as my daughters-in-law, am I saying that right? And also my grandchildren. And so sometimes I'll pray for each one individually, needs that I know that they have. Other times I'll just write all of their names, and I will write a prayer that I want for all of them. And so this was a sticker that said agenda at the top. So over agenda, I just put down another sticker and wrote prayer. So I can use stickers that were intended for something completely different, and I can write in what I wanted for it. I have found that if I just pick a color, and this day it was green and a little bit of brown because there was brown in some of the cats in the washi tape. If I just go with the color scheme, then it ends up looking pretty nice no matter what I do. I do have this bird sticker that you can see on the far left. I just got those were from Recollections. I do get a lot of my stickers on Amazon. I'll also always look at Michael's whenever I happen to be there, or Joann's Fabrics, or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is a bit of a distance from me. I don't get there very often. But for me, the color, the stickers, the washi tapes, that's all very inspiring to me. And it really helps me to just enjoy and love the time that I'm spending that much more. And I feel like this was something that God kind of showed me about myself, and it has really changed my prayer life. I am so much more consistent, and I usually wish that I had more time than I actually have. Now, in this day, you're going to see me fill one page, and I have to say, I wasn't going to write anything too terribly personal because I recognize that it can be read, but some days it might be 2 pages. And rare days, it might be 3 pages. Some days I'll have less stickers and I'll just do a ton of writing because it's just one of those days where I need to pour out my heart to God. And other days I don't necessarily feel like I need to be saying a ton of things. And so I used to really judge myself. I used to really judge my prayer life, and I always felt bad about it. And I just decided that in order to be consistent in my prayer life and having that time in the morning, I had to stop judging myself and just pour out my heart to God wherever I happened to be at that day. And then, as you see, I was just on YouVersion. I love their devotionals. You can find me, Karen, at thismainermom on YouVersion, and you can follow me, and I would love to follow you back. If you do invite me to do a devotional with you, I will do that. I do devotionals all the time with ladies who are here on the channel that comment and are friends in the comment section, and it means a lot to me. It's extremely encouraging to me. I appreciate any time that I'm invited, and I love to do that. As I'm going through the devotionals on YouVersion that I have marked out to do, if there is any verses that are especially meaningful to me, I will go ahead and write them as well in my prayer journal. Sometimes I will pray through the verse as well, and that always helps me too. For example, this verse that I'm writing says, "You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you." And if I were to pray through that, I would say, God, thank you so much for keeping me in perfect peace. Help me to keep my mind on you and help me to trust in you, knowing that I will have your peace. So that's just an example of how I would pray through that verse. If you would like more help in how to pray through the Bible, you let me know, and I'd be perfectly happy to do more content that has to do with prayer journaling and praying through scripture. I'm ending with writing some prayer requests that I have for my husband and I, mostly that we would have wisdom in finances and wisdom in our parenting. We're making choices right now about our car, so that's the financial piece, where I was hit by another driver recently. No one was hurt, thankfully, but there's a huge dent in my car crossing 2 panels, and they ended up totaling the car when they went to give the estimate. So we have some decisions to make as far as what we're going to do for a vehicle, and I'm always wanting wisdom in finances. And then, of course, as you know, or you might know, I have 7 children, and even though some are grown, I do still have my 4 daughters living at home, and we definitely are always needing wisdom. And then I end my prayer time by just acknowledging and thanking God that we're not alone, and we have him as our good shepherd. And I'm just so thankful that when we are weak, that God is strong and that he is always working even when I don't see it. So my prayer journaling kind of bleeds into reading devotionals on YouVersion, and then I do like Bible reading later in the day. And then once I'm done with that, with my prayer journal, I put that away. And then what I've been doing is this calendar that's in my planner, I've been writing one promise from the Bible every single day. And I'm really excited that at the end of the year, I will have 365 promises that I have written down from the Bible and hopefully haven't repeated. I probably need to write the references on a separate piece of paper so I can keep track so that I don't repeat any. This is actually a Saturday for me, so I have some extra time. So I decided to get out this page from my planner, which was on routines, and to write out my routines because I've never actually written them out in a very, very long time. So I have to admit, I didn't write them in the order I necessarily wanted to. I was kind of just writing as I thought of them, but they're all there. So that's what counts. My full morning routine, which you're going to see me living out here, is to have my Bible and prayer time, to have the dishes put away. I want to have a check-in with the laundry, my bed made, a quick tidy, check my menu plan, have a morning project if I have time, a cleaning project, decluttering, or something. Set time for self-care where I do my makeup and my hair so that I'm ready for whatever happens. And then you're going to see me go back to this list in a second and write work. So that's my Optavia health coach calls or working on YouTube, whatever needs to be done there. And then in the afternoon, it's to start supper. Sometimes I take a shower. Sometimes I don't. I might wait till the evening. It depends on what I have for health coach calls in the evening. I want to tidy up the kitchen, do another quick tidy around the house, and then that's usually when I film. So if I'm not filming, I might be doing a project that I'm not filming, and I put work because I don't know, some days I'm doing work, some days I'm not. And then in the evening, it's a separate cleanup. Even though I don't do it, I like to write it because it is important to me. I do usually have calls. I'm trying to get those all on just a couple days of the week. And if I didn't already take my shower, I would do that, and then a bedroom tidy. With that done, now I am ready to take on that morning routine that I just wrote down. And so I am getting the laundry switch from the washer to the dryer. It's that laundry that I had started the night before that you saw me start at the beginning of the video. If it was summer, the part of summer that's humid, then I would not be leaving my clothes wet all night in the washing machine. But it's winter in Maine. It's pretty dry. We do not have any humidity in the winter. So I know that the clothes are going to be fine. In the summertime, I would either start it earlier so I could dry it at night, or I would wait till morning and go ahead and start it in the morning. And I'm also a lot more picky about wet towels because, as you know, wet towels get all mildewy, so I wouldn't be wanting people to be throwing their wet towels into the washing machine with other clothes either. Since I have 4 daughters at home and they each have one laundry day, so that is 4 days where they're going to be using the washing machine in the morning, I especially like to make sure that my laundry is out of the way or the family laundry is out of the way. I don't mind doing towels for them if they bring them down, but if they wait until their laundry day, then they just go ahead and do them along with their laundry. So now that the laundry is switched over, I'm going to go ahead and put the dishes away. Sometimes one of the girls will do this for me in the morning. Everybody gets one chore every day. And so if I don't have time for it because I have calls, then I'll just go ahead and put that on the chore list for that morning, and they'll go ahead and take care of it. I do like it that I get up early because I'm able to kind of set the house up for the day and do a reset. I'm able to have my Bible and prayer time, and then they get up and that stuff is already done. And I thought it would give you a little silverware ASMR. Oftentimes, quite a few snacks can happen after we have done the dishes after supper. So there's usually some dishes in the sink in the morning. So I'm getting all of those put in the dishwasher, and then I can move on to the next thing. And I'm wiping down all of the counters. I kind of think of it this way. I'm trying to company clean my house every morning. So it's not a deep clean. It's that quick tidy to put everything away, wipe down anything. Now these counters would have been wiped the night before, so they don't always need to be done, but sometimes cooking has happened for snacks at night, or I don't know, it smells good when I spray that Mrs. Meyer's Daisy spray down, and so I do kind of like it. And I'm getting my island wiped down as well. So I like to have my house company clean. Not that company's even going to drop by, but it just makes me feel like the whole house is set up. It makes me feel refreshed and able to tackle the day. So at nighttime, we're using blankets, and the pillows, of course, are all disheveled. Now, remember, I don't have young children. I don't have grandchildren here every day, so my rooms stay pretty clean. It's just a book here, a book there, and tidying up the blankets. This happened to be a Saturday morning, and Robin was getting going on a morning project that I thought I would show you.
So here's what we're dealing with right now. I have boxes I had offered to my son when he was moving, and there's also some stray lawn chairs. We'll get those out, bring them down with all of the seasonal items, and then these are all boxes I'm eventually going to get rid of, but we'll take them out and they'll be good for when we're packing Goodwill things in them.
This was the first load that we were getting rid of that huge pile I showed you the last time I did a basement declutter. So he is going to pack the car as full as possible to take things to Goodwill for me. He was heading out with our youngest daughter. She has a guinea pig who needed her nails trimmed, the guinea pig that is. So they were taking her over to the pet store, and there is a Goodwill right by that pet store. So I had asked him if he could load up the van to drop things off at Goodwill because it's right down the street, which is wonderful since it's about 35 to 45 minutes from our house. So this is a totally funny story, and I know you guys love my husband too, and you're not going to think bad of him, but he's walking in the wrong direction. That is not the direction of the stairs. So I think I think he's going through things that I decluttered, and he is rescuing some things. That's what's happening right there. So I need to ask him about that because I didn't know about it till I got editing. You saw me there at the beginning of the clip, but then I went back upstairs and just kind of continued with what I was doing while he was down here getting everything loaded up in the van. And so it just cracked me up that I saw him actually rescuing things. He took one full load to Goodwill that day, and then a few days later, we also got some things out that needed to go to the dump. We also had brought some things over from my son's side of the basement where he had his things from when he moved. And so, boy, we almost have everything out of there that needed to go as far as Goodwill and trash. I think we do need to do one more load, and then I need to find someone who wants their kid to play very loud drums, and we will unload the drum set that's down there. So it's happening, people, but it never happens as quickly as you would like it to, for sure. But you just have to peck away at it and not give up. So I had checked my menu plans, and here I am at my grocery store website, and I am making a grocery order, and that will be delivered today. So that makes me feel good. That will help me to get set up for the coming week to have my groceries ordered. So that is my project for the morning, is putting in that grocery order. Thankfully, I had enlisted my daughter Yvonne to help me with menu planning. She had reminded me of a lot of family favorites that I had let slide and fall off the menu plans. I had gotten myself in a rut, and we were just having the same thing every night. So I don't mind doing these grocery orders or anything, but I love to have help with the menu plan. With that done and the groceries going to be on their way, I was getting the laundry folded. Now, only half of this was what you saw me switch over. The rest was a load I had probably done 2 to 3 days before that and hadn't had a chance to get folded, so it was in a basket in my room. I do love to watch weekend reset videos where people are getting ready for the week, but for me, more important than a weekly setup is having my morning setup. I do love to get all of these things reset every single day, and that way I just feel so much more productive in the day. My mind is so much clearer. I don't feel like I'm behind all the time, and all of the decluttering that I have been doing over the past few years here on the channel has really helped me, because once I tidy up, everything has a place to go. So if you are in a room of mine then everything in that room should be things that we do while we are in that room. I don't want storage in the regular rooms. And so any storage is in the basement, which is partly how I got myself into that mess, but I don't have a ton of regret because I do appreciate that I got everything out of the main house. I got it in one place, and now I'm going through and getting that all decluttered and organized, which I'm sure you've seen. If you haven't, then definitely check out my playlists, and I will have that linked for you. I hope this video gave you encouragement for your own routine. Remember, God loves you, and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.